Can I help you?
Yes, I was asked to come here for questioning.
By?
Commissioner Scorpio.
Stand to one side, please. An officer will be here to show you the waiting area. Shouldn't be, more than a minute or two.
Thank you.
I was wondering if they'd be calling you in.
You think they'll want to talk to us, the two of us together?
No, I don't think they'll want us in the same room together. How are you doing?
I'm scared to death. Just like the Diana Taylor thing all over again. They try to pin this one on me, too.
No, this is different.
She doesn't feel that way.
Just calling everybody in that had anything to do with Susie. That's all.
Well, Scotty, we're a little more involved than that, don't you think? What are you going to say when you go in there?
Don't worry. I'm going to cover for you.
Maybe you should be more concerned about covering for yourself.
I have nothing to hide.
Well, you are the most likely suspect.
Now, where'd you get that from?
Well, it's just a personal assumption.
Listen, do me a favor, will you? Don't go making me a suspect until the cops do.
Heather Weber,
Yes.
the commissioner will be ready to see you shortly.
Oh, well, Mr. Baldwin is here to see the commissioner, too.
I'm sorry, Miss Baldwin, you'll have to wait. We can only take one witness at a time. Are you ready?
Well, did he see the quarterings? I mean, how was Susan? Did she suspect that something might be wrong?
Amy, I don't know. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Because I'm not going to see Rick until he gets home from work tonight.
Oh, lucky him.
What do you think? I mean, do you think the Quartermains were behind it? I mean, who else would have it out that bad for Susan?
Amy, I don't know. And what's more important, I do not want to know.
Aren't you even a little bit curious?
No, I'm not. And even if I were, that is not a subject of conversation that I would bring into the hospital, and I would advise you to keep it outside, too. Although I admit it may be a little bit difficult today. Excuse me, please. Oh. Oh. Well, excuse, is that Jason Baldwin?
Yes, it is.
I'm Dr. Weber. Can I help you?
Oh, yes, doctor. It's all so terrible. Mrs. Baldwin asked me to bring the baby home last night. And then the police called, and they said for me to care for the baby for the night. But I don't know what to do now.
Have you tried to reach Mr. Baldwin?
Yes, but there's no answer at his office. Sorry.
Well, how about... It's okay. Mrs. Grant, Alice.
Well, no, she wasn't home either. I didn't know what else to do, so I brought him here.
Well, that's perfectly all right, but let's see. We should find somebody that
hails it. What's he doing here?
Jason, what's wrong? Why is Jason here?
I was worried. I didn't know where else to go.
It's all right.
Alan. Excuse me. Alan, is it all right? What are you going to do with him?
I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to desert him.
Well, you're not going to bring him to our house.
Why don't you, if I may make a suggestion, hire this lady, Mrs. Bowman, to care for him for a couple of weeks. That would give you time to make some kind of proper judgment.
What an excellent idea, Lesley. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes.
Mrs. Bowman?
Well, I suppose I could.
That's wonderful. Look, my name is Dr. Alan Quartermain. This is my wife, Monica. If you have
Hello?
any problems at all, you call, okay?
All right.
You go with this nice lady.
Thank you,
Doctor. It's all right.
Okay, hon.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Now what?
I don't know now what, but she can't keep him forever, so we're going to have to come up with a solution.
Okay, fine. But don't you forget that child has a lot of other relatives to contend with. Namely, Scotty, Heather, and Mrs. Grant.
I'm glad I could be of some help.
Immense help. You will be available if I require more questions.
Of course. You know, I loved her very much. She was like a daughter to me.
I know.
Oh, hello, Robert. How's it going?
Well, I think I've just discovered some interesting information about Scott Baldwin. He could have been trying to pull something on Susan.
Oh, like what? Seeing someone else on the side?
No, a financial deal. Listen, get on to Carlson at the bank. I got a feeling he could have some valuable information for us.
All right, I'll get on it right away.
Who's next?
Heather Weber. Oh, she's really something. Oh, here she is now. Oh, hello, Heather. It's been quite a long time.
I can't say it's been too long.
Good luck, Commissioner.
Have a seat. You won't mind if we get straight to the point.
No, actually, I'm kind of used to the procedure.
I'd like to talk about Scott Baldwin.
Okay?
What about your relationship with him?
We're friends.
But you also work for him. You must have known about the forgery.
You'd have to talk to Scotty about that.
I'm talking to you about it. Now, how did Scotty react when Susan found out about the forgery?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. You know, Susan could have made the whole thing up just to make Scotty look bad. She was like that if she was in a fight with you.
Vindictive.
Very.
So, Susan and Scotty had a lot of fights.
Well, enough.
What about the night of the murder?
Well, they'd already made it up by then. I'm sure of it. That was one of the little things about Susan. She fought with everyone. I know that was hard to tell from the rosy act she put on, but she would pick a fight with anybody. Even my mother. She kicked my mother out of her house not long ago.
Alice never mentioned that.
Well, she was probably embarrassed.
Getting back to Susan and Scotty's fight, you said they made up. How do you know?
Oh, well, Scotty told me that the night he came over, the night of the murder.
What time was that?
It was late, 10:30. I was in the kitchen getting a glass of milk, and he rang the doorbell.
Hello, Heather. Seltzer versus Dean?
Yes, I brought the papers home with me.
Yeah, I know. I stopped by the office. I couldn't find them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get them for you.
What a night.
Working the whole time?
No, I had another fight with Susan.
Was it bad?
Yeah, it was bad because your mother was there, but I made sure it was resolved before I left.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you called with the news.
Any witnesses?
No, Tiffany's was in New York, and Jackie was down working at the paper.
So the only way that you know that Scotty actually made up with Susan is because he told you.
Well, yes.
Any reason why he should lie?
Well, no. Why would Scotty lie?
You tell me.
Just ran into Lesley, and she told me that there was a woman here with Susan's baby.
Oh, right. Mrs. Bauer, I don't know, Bowman, something like that anyway. Fortunately, Susan farmed the child out last night.
Are you okay?
No, not exactly.
I thought you might be upset.
You know, I really try. I try not to think about the future. I know perfectly well the more you think about it, the more you worry about it, the more it's guaranteed to just turn out to be the worst.
And seeing that baby started you thinking about it, didn't it?
I know what he's going to do, Gail. I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to want to bring that child into my house, and I can't. I cannot live with it.
Monica, you cannot take your feelings out on that baby.
Okay, I know that. No, I know it isn't the baby's fault. It's my fault. I simply cannot handle being asked to raise another child as if it were my own.
Well, it is Alan's son.
Then Alan has to find a place for it to live.
And how do you know he's not going to do that?
I know that. I just know it. I have a feeling.
Oh, Monica. Normally, I tell you to listen to your feelings, but this time I really think you are overreacting. I mean, Alan is going to respect your feelings. He cares a great deal about you. Well, wasn't it just last week you told me that you felt he was becoming more loyal to his family?
Yes, well, all that loyalty and love can do crazy things to someone sometimes.
What do you mean? What kind of crazy things?
You know, you are right. I am. I'm overreacting, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will get over this, and I better get back to work. I'll see you later.
Monica...